Hi, Craig Osborne here. Vitamin D. It's a big topic. It should always be a big topic. In Europe, it's pretty much decided that at least 50% of the population have a deficiency in vitamin D. I just read that in America they think it's over 70%. We've spent so much time shielding ourselves from the sun to prevent skin problems that we've put ourselves into a vitamin D deficiency. Now, vitamin D has many functions. It affects the function of over 2,000 genes. When it's at low levels, it has an impact on things like cardiovascular disease, dementia. It is really important in one of the stages of creating antibodies in your immune system. So if your vitamin D level is low, especially in winter, you're more prone to get sick. If you have respiratory diseases, it is a problem if it's low, and many forms of cancers. So there's all sorts of reasons why vitamin D is so important, and you can get it from food, but it's not as easy as the natural source, which is the sun. The problem with that is that, and I'm recording this in late November, is that there is not enough strength in the sun there to create vitamin D in my skin, despite weird forms of magnification. We get enough sunlight to make the skin darken, but it doesn't create any vitamin D. You can tell that if you look at your shadow. If your shadow is longer than you are tall, then the sun is too weak. However, there's another way to look at it. If you take a map and draw a line between Barcelona and Rome, anything above that level between October and April, basically you can forget getting vitamin D from sunlight. You need to look at trying to get it from alternative means. Obviously, you're more than welcome to try and do that through your food, and I've put a link with this post as to the type of foods that have vitamin D in it. The other thing you could consider doing, and it's certainly recommended, I've just got this yesterday, for me it's a liquid with vitamin K included. Now, the reason for doing a liquid, I just find it's easier. It saves having another pill. This particular one is 1,000 international units, which is the recommended adult daily dosage to maintain a good level over winter. If your level is already low, it's probably going to need more than that. However, when your vitamin D is really important for bone density, because if your vitamin D is low, then your parathyroid hormone is going to pull calcium out of your bones to ensure that the calcium level in your blood stays normal. Now, calcium is really important for muscle function and especially heart function. That means that if you have the opposite happening, and this is the risk of just taking this and not having a test, if your vitamin D levels go up a lot and you're not including vitamin K on it, vitamin K helps those bones reabsorb the calcium. And so there is a chance with too much ingested vitamin D that your calcium levels could get high. Hypercalcemia is called, and that's not good for the heart. So you can see how it's not that the vitamin D level itself is a problem, however its impact on your calcium levels that are an issue. There's also other chemicals involved like phosphorus and magnesium. However, the most concern is, as I said, with that high calcium level. As I mentioned, I've put a link here with a lot of this information written, and there's a question about what is a normal level. And I've had patients who say to me they had a level of 13 nanograms per milliliter as their level when the doctor said it's okay. The information that I've sourced from medical sources say that we should have at least 50. I've also had patients that say they've had well over 100, but as long as your calcium levels are okay, that's probably not a problem. However, it is important to get it tested. You cannot just know if your vitamin D levels are enough or not. And if you are supplementing, especially if you're supplementing the entire year through, you should definitely get your levels tested on a regular basis. There are over 500 different studies looking at the function of vitamin D and its relevance and importance in terms of our body function. And it's crazy to think that the doctors know that at least half of us have a low level of it, yet don't do anything about it. I think one of the important things is, this thing from Amazon, it cost me 20 euros, and that's enough for a year. So there's no interest in it from the pharma industry to follow this up because they're not going to make any major money from it. It means though that you need to take control of this yourself. You should probably in winter consume this anyway, even if you didn't get a test, as I said, between those winter months. However, if you aren't sure, then definitely get it tested, see what's going on, use the information that's available, and as I said in my post, and use this stuff to boost your immune system in winter, because they say, oh, there's a spike of flu and the cold in winter. The reality is these bugs are floating around the entire year. They don't shift from one hemisphere to the other just because the weather gets cold. A lot of them are already in our noses and area and back of our throat, and it's when our immune system and our stress levels go down that they take the opportunity to make us ill. And so at the same time we tend to be inside not getting enough vitamin D. So there's a very good chance that these spikes in illnesses that happen in the winter months are related to, but not only from, your levels of vitamin D. I hope you found that interesting, and as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye bye.